topic of child molestation is horrific, but when the offender is a trusted authority figure like a priest, the crime is almost incomprehensible. Here in San Diego, a group of abuse victims have been engaged in a decade-long court battle with the Roman Catholic Diocese. Thousands of pages from personnel files of accused priests were released to the public last weekend. Joining me now is KPBS senior editor Mark Sauer. He covered this story for many years as a reporter for the San Diego Union-Tribune. Mark, what's the importance to the victims of releasing these documents?
Well, of course, there was a big monetary settlement here, $200 million in San Diego. And as part of that, the victims that you'll interview and talk to will say that the release of the documents, getting the story out, is at least as important as the money in their lives. Depending on the range of abuse here, from molestation, fondling to rape, oral sex, forced oral sex, it's a wide range of effects in these people's lives, and it can be absolutely devastating, as we'll see here in this clip.
Okay.
I'm here to speak out finally about the abuse that I suffered when I was a child. I've been battling this for a long time. My goal here today is to speak out and have other kids who've been abused to speak out and not be afraid. I hid this for many years. I've been in and off and on the streets for over 20 years. I was hooked on meth, alcohol. My parents asked me for a long time, "What's going on with you, Jim?" And I hid it from my parents. I hid it from the world.
So Jim has spent many years on the streets, addicted to drugs. Is this a common experience that many abuse victims have?
It can be. It depends on the level and the range of abuse. I interviewed a number of victims. I'll give you one example. This fellow in Chula Vista, he was an altar boy about age 10, and he'd been abused for about a year by the parish priest. And he finally worked up the courage to go tell his mother about it. She was a staunch Catholic, reacted very badly, beat him, put him in a closet, took him down to the priest, told the priest and confronted the priest with his boy telling these alleged lies. The priest boxed his ears and continued the abuse. This is all documented in the depositions that would have gone to court had these cases gone to court, and the stories would have gotten out at that time. Of course, the diocese, on the eve of the first trial in 2007, decided to declare bankruptcy. That process went from February until almost Thanksgiving that year when they finally settled. And those settlements speak for themselves. $200 million here, Archdiocese of Los Angeles, over $500 million. We're talking about $750 million in settlements in this Southern California region. Very major cases here.
So is that what the documents revealed, the stories behind the cases and the size of the settlements? Is that what they were about?
No. What they're about, and of course, as we see, they're voluminous, 10,000 pages here released in this latest batch. They're letters, they're a lot of written in code words. We're reassigning you to this facility in the desert here, so we hope your immature behavior can be improved there through counseling, these sorts of things. So you really have to know what you're looking for. A lot of letters and code things and euphemisms used. But they paint, as you go through them, and certainly the victims are very happy to have all of this out, show exactly how not only did the abuse happen, but the cover-up was so terrible. They would send these folks off, these perpetrators, have them get some counseling, bring them back in 90 days, maybe 6 months, put them to another parish, and not warn anybody there that they had been perpetrators of sex crimes.
So it sounds as though the cover-ups were, if not as bad as the physical abuse, certainly added to the physical abuse trauma.
That's exactly right. And that's why it's so important to get these documents out, to have it seen by the world. The website Bishop Accountability is one that's very complete on these stories, has the documents posted by priests, by names. Many of them are dead. Some are still around. One of the priests is still operating at a church in Ensenada. And, you know, the diocese itself is still fighting over 2,000 pages that the plaintiffs wish to be revealed.
Mark, just quickly, why did it take so long for the documents to get out?
Well, it was part of the settlement, and it took a court order, and frankly, the church has fought and fought on this, and this has just been par for the course over the decade-long battle on this.
Mark Sauer, thank you very much.
My pleasure.